What's up, everybody, and welcome to Word on the Street. I'm Cahin, your host.
No, I'm your host.
No,
Jennifer Carpus Romaine.
I am the host.
No.
Of Word on the Street.
Who was here last week?
You booted me out once a quarter. I'm the host of Word on the Street. Welcome, everybody. Jennifer Carpus Romaine in studio, everybody.
Woo! It's go time. Tick, boom.
What's up, everybody? So good to see you. Like we say, Jennifer is here in studio in St. Louis. It is the first ever, the inaugural Beta Holiday Retreat here in St. Louis. And I'm again, tell everybody why you're here.
Well, I've been saying for weeks that I was going to crash the party.
And you did.
You thought I was kidding. And
No, you
I
did.
Showed up on your doorstep.
Honorary Team Beta right here, having a good time. It's been fun. Like
Yeah.
you're kind of an outsider insider at this point. What's been your take on the retreat so far?
Well,
What advice do you have for us? How can we get better?
well, we had all those conversations yesterday.
We'll tell everybody else.
Oh, well, anything in particular or anything secret? No, it's been really good. It's been fun to see the team. I think one of the coolest things about Beta is that it used to be just you, and now you've expanded your team and seeing everyone, getting to meet people in person that I've worked with on the Ladies Word on the Street and beyond. It's just been really cool.
Here we are, and we got to get a little closer. Apparently, the mic's not quite picking up, so we'll do that. We can change it in studio. It's been fun. First time we went to the Blues game last night.
We sure did.
Interesting. We had a great second period. 3 goals and a fight broke out. That's always good. You got to love fights. You know what's interesting about hockey fights? They just let them fight.
Right.
You know, I wish one time in baseball, a pitcher would just bean a hitter. You know how they charge them out and everybody kind of rushes and kind of tries to split them up. I wish they just let them go for a while. Let's see what would happen.
Yeah.
Let's see who really wants to fight out there on the baseball field. That's pretty enjoyable. The whole crowd got into it.
Yeah, I like the
punches
fights.
were landed.
I like the aggression.
Yeah, everybody was into it. It was really good. That was fun. And then afterwards, we had the idea to go do a little karaoke.
We did.
I may have gotten out of hand a little bit, but it was fun.
It was
a
fun.
good time. We had a
That's
great
why
time.
My voice is a little rough today.
That's right. It was awesome. Well, nobody else wants to hear about that. Let's get the street crew in here. Coming to us from Chicago. You know him as the strongest man in logistics. Give it up for our man, Robert Bain, in the house. Yeah, new song today. I like it. I like it. After. What's up, my friend? How are you?
What is going on, guys? How are you?
You got it. Okay, so it is holiday sweater season. Some call it ugly sweater season.
I like my sweater.
I mean, you have yours is actually kind of like a design sweater. I'm rocking a little Christmas story here, courtesy of our man Coleman Ruffin, who loaned it out to me today.
I have a built-in sweater underneath this, so
yeah, I know. And then what do you have on yours, my friend?
So this is my T-shirt from I did a couple weeks ago. Barbell Winter Classic.
Oh, nice, very good. Love it.
Apparently, it was voted down, but I do have a built-in sweater, but no one wants to see that, so you'll have to click the link in the bio for that one.
Built in. Okay, that just means you want to get naked on this show. But we're not going to do that. All right.
Happy
Also coming to us from the Chicago area, from R2X. You know what that stands for, by the way?
No,
Ready to execute.
Don't come down.
Just we're teaching stuff today. Ready to execute. Our good friend Mitch Kowalewski on the show. Everybody, what's up?
What's up? Happy Friday. What's up?
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up.
Love it. Feeling that energy.
Mitch, are you a karaoke guy? I bet you're a karaoke guy. I can see you getting after it.
I'm not a karaoke guy. I'm a karaoke watcher. I'm a good watcher. I'm a great watcher. I am a good
A good
participant.
Song, or Snoop Dogg, you get up there and do that, wouldn't you?
For Snoop Dogg, it would.
Yeah,
For my boy Snoop. For my boy Snoop, I would do that for sure.
One drink, Snoop Dogg, and you're up front, lighting it up.
You got it. You got it. That's right.
All right, to us from the Idaho area, the one and only Freight Sensei out of the Boise of Armstrong Transport Group. Give it up for Scott Watanabe in the house.
Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name. He doesn't need his name.
Happy Friday. How we doing?
Hey, how are you, my friend?
Oh, it was good. This was a late night. We had our company Christmas party on a Thursday night. So it was
Interesting.
Yeah, there's no one in the office. So that's just me.
We did the same thing. Makes Friday a little interesting, that's for sure.
It does, but it's fun. It's
Where's
good.
your
We had a good time.
holiday gear? You look like you're about to go hunting and kill something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
This is
It's like somebody else.
Like I said, it was an early morning for me in the late night. So no, this is a Top Golf hat.
Oh, nice. We're going there tonight. Let's go, Top Golf.
So yeah, I saw it when I went to the one in Charlotte, and then I saw camouflage. That's my jam. So I bought it. But
That is nice. I like that actually. Now that I know it's Top Golf, okay, we'll let it slide. It's not a problem.
yeah, haven't hunted this year yet. So
we're gonna let that go. All right, coming to us from the New Jersey area. You know him as the Bodacious Cowboy. Give it up for Jeff Dickinson in the house.
'Cause I saddle up my horse and I ride into the
Whoa,
city.
ho, ho! Merry Christmas.
Girls, they are so pretty. Riding up and down Broadway on my old Stanley Roy.
What's up, Jeff? How you doing?
What did you have, a sleepover last night and we weren't invited? What the hell?
So it sounds like
Not
what it sounds like.
not her.
no.
I mean, Trey and I have had plenty of sleepovers.
You sure have. I've seen them. But I say elsewhere. I'm not part of those parties.
That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. No, actually, we did have our team retreat here at the house, though. I've
Nice.
rooms, and Coleman politely agreed to sleep in the basement on the couch that we have down there in the finished basement. So we had plenty of room, and we've been able to have breakfast together and work on different initiatives and have a lot of fun. And like I said last night, game and karaoke, so it's been good. A lot more fun this afternoon. We're going to main event, Top Golf. Ice skating after that, and then they want to watch scary movies. That's gonna be great. I can't wait for scary movies.
Well, I'm gonna go back to my hotel.
I don't know. We got a scary crew right here, so you don't have to.
I know. I'm not. It's not going to be good. I think we're gonna have to throw a rom-com after that so I can sleep tonight. All right, everybody, give it up. First time on the show. Check us out. First time on the show for Mr. Bill Robinson in the house today. What's up, Bill?
Good morning, afternoon, everyone.
Oh, Bill.
Oh my God.
Hey, isn't this Coleman?
What is it you want to do when you grow up? Hey, yo, I'm going to be a tit-out. That's all my eyes can see.
Now, Bill, I'm not gonna lie. I love the look, man. You kind of look like you're in the witness protection program. I like the look. Going.
Well, representing.
That's right. Got that in there, which is great.
Bill.
We got two more special guest crew members today. They're married. Married couple.
Wow.
I know. And they're coming on they're coming on the show separately. So it's
so I have to be on screen with you.
That's right.
But they get to be.
That's right. They can do whatever they want. They're the guests. That's right. All right, give it up. Coming from New Jersey, my good friend for a long time, known for a while. We go back to like 2016 days in the freight industry. Give it up for Jim Quinn of Geodis, everybody.
Actually, Connecticut, but I will go back
I think that's the best walk-up song you could have picked, my friend. That's great. And I have a feeling you may not have picked that for yourself. But either way, it's wonderful. That was
if you don't pick your own songs,
you just get what you get. How are you doing, Jim? Good to see you, man.
Doing good. It's TGIF, 10 Days to Survive, right? To the holidays. And lovely fourth quarter retail customers. What else can you ask for?
What else can you ask for? Jim, you have no idea what you're in for today. This may be your one and only visit on Word on the Street, or maybe you'll love it. So excited about that. And Jim's lovely wife joining us today. She's a lawyer, so Jim's clean and narrow, on the straight and narrow. Dove Burns, welcome to the show. How are you, my friend?
What's up, Dove?
Oh, she's got a fun sweater.
Good. Good to be here.
Look at this. Okay, Dove, you got to show us.
I have a pug sweater.
Is that the Grinch? Oh, it's a pup. It's a dog. Okay.
Pug. It's a pug.
Look at that. That's I like the arms. I like the striped arms. That really completes that. That is nice.
As they say in lawyers' term, res ipsa loquitur.
I don't know what that means. We're going to move on from there. Good to have you guys on the show. Real quick, so give us a quick introduction, Jim. Talk about a little bit about your history, and then Dove, talk about you. Well, Sean, thanks for watching the show. Good to see you, my friend. Go ahead, Jim.
All right. Jim Quinn, currently a director of business development at Geodis Capacity Solutions, which is the brokerage arm of Geodis. I've been in transportation logistics about 20 years, the last 15 of which has been on brokerages. Prior, my niche, if you will, it wasn't something I planned on, but like a lot of people in our industry, you wake up at some point, you realize, hey, this is what I'm going to do. Building brokerages for companies that do a lot of other things besides brokerage, whether that be a warehouse, a trucking company, a 3PL. And that's really how I got into Geodis. I built a freight brokerage for a company called the Gilbert Company, did a lot of warehousing and distribution work. And I was brought in to build that. And then my company got acquired by Geodis. So also done some consulting in the past as well.
Yeah, absolutely love it. And by the way, John loves pigs. He's about pugs. Pigs
or pugs?
He loves pugs. He said that
Both
pugs.
that work. Both work. Pugs are usually pigs.
Pigs aren't bad too, but pigs are good.
Which smell better?
I gotta go pugs, right? I mean, pugs have to smell better than pigs.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Two different animals.
No, I mean, I guess if is it live pig or is it dead pig? Because dead pig smells pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. We've had bacon every morning for breakfast.
Yeah,
It's been
they ate the
incredible.
rest of it.
Really good.
Nice.
Yeah. Now, Robert, listen. Jim sounds really smart and professional. But the last time that Jim and I hung out was on the Las Vegas Strip, having a good time back in 2017. Robert, you're gonna love that, my friend. So
I do love that. It's my favorite place.
Gotta get him to manifest in February so we can continue the fun.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Are you gonna share?
I'm down. I am down.
I'm sharing with Robert again. I'm sharing with Coleman.
Oh, well, that's not going to be.
Coleman's
as
coming
funny.
now. If Robert wants to join in, I don't know what that would look like.
Are you guys going to have one better too?
Gotta take pictures.
No, there's not going to be any planes, trains, and automobiles scenes going
Let's
on.
be clear about
No. This was a whole thing where we got the wrong room, and
Yeah, right.
Trey, go. We've teed it up. Go ahead and tell it.
Dude, I got the picture. You tell the story. I'll pull the picture, man.
All right, so
I want to know who was on top.
Those are pillows.
I'm a top all day with this relationship. Anyway, so
You guys need a lawyer on this show. I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah.
First year manifest Trey rooms with me because he was kind of last minute. I had a room all set. We were good to go. I was last minute last year getting in, and so I reached out to Trey and said, hey, like, you want to run it back? Can I bunk with you? He said, no problem. Should be fine. Got a room all set. We're good. We get up to the room, and they had said something to Trey as he was checking in. He didn't quite hear it, and we just kept rolling because we just wanted to get our stuff dropped off. They gave us one of the honeymoon suites at the Flamingo. So we walk in, and there is one couch overlooking the window. There is a nice Cali King bed and this 6 by 8 foot mirror on the ceiling.
Where was the pole?
Here we go. There we go. Look at everybody.
Yes.
This sounds like
Amazing.
Takeover 4 or something.
So Trey goes to sit down on the couch.
Out
Like,
here. I really
sit there, not sit on that couch.
I'm like, I don't know, maybe I can sleep on the couch. Robert's like, I'm not letting you sleep on that couch.
Dude,
No, you don't touch the couches.
So,
Absolutely
okay,
not.
all to say, it all ended well. We ended up with 2 beds. It was great.
All ended well. They still shared a room.
We still shared a room,
still
but we didn't,
snuggled.
I didn't
It's
have
fine.
to. No, there was no snuggling going on.
But that manifest overall in Vegas last year was pretty wild. Like there were just so many random things that happened to I think a lot of people that I spoke to. Trey found my business cards all over the floor, all over the city, I think, right? Like it was just
Connected. I was walking out with Coleman and I found your business card on the ground and I picked it up and I'm like, I'm just going to call this guy and pretend like we met.
That is
And he's
substantially
not gonna know,
better
but
than the
he's gonna
other
pretend.
cards you find on the floor.
It's true.
Not wrong, especially in Vegas.
That's right. Wrong. So okay,
Right.
that was a long introduction for Jim. Dove, you've been waiting so patiently. Dove, tell us a little about yourself.
She's never coming back.
Well, actually,
Right?
I was in Vegas last week. So I enjoyed my time in Vegas last week. And I went to my conference was at the Cosmopolitan. So I showed up at like 11:30 at night. I'm dragging all this luggage. Jim can attest. I don't travel lightly in any way, shape, or form. And so I'm dragging my stuff in the middle of the night. They give me a room. I go up to my room. And I'm confidently, opening the door. It was occupied. So I was trying to barge into someone's room at midnight. It was a great way to kick off my time in Vegas. It definitely threw me for a loop.
Sure.
Also, I'm an employment lawyer, which I'll get into. And the grand entrance of the Cosmo has naked people without their genitalia. They're wiped out. And then introduction of also animals into it that continually plays in the lobby of the in the lobby of the casino. So needless to say, I didn't necessarily think it was, the most appropriate place. That was my entree into the conference. It was entertaining, but it is what it is.
are our kind of people. I think this is.
And I tried to go to the restaurant that Trey had taken Jim to like a decade ago or what, 5-7 years ago. Picasso, and I couldn't get a reservation. So I'm still working on it. You guys had a better, nicer meal than I could get. So congrats to you.
Ridiculous. That was crazy stuff I've never seen before. Okay, I have to ask Bill, do you have a Vegas story? I mean, we'll just go around the room. And
you don't want to hear his.
Sure.
Yeah. No.
Why do you think he's darked out?
That's right. He's got stories. He can't tell him. That's what's going on.
Yeah, I'm mostly dark though because of the big window beside me. I didn't plan this.
Yeah, we know, Bill. We got it. We understand. Yeah. That's awesome. All right, well, let's jump in real quick. So, Dove, one thing that I was excited, we had a conversation offline. We talked about this is, this issue, it still remains. It's probably going to remain for a little while. Some light is being shed on the topic, but, non-competes and non-solicits in the industry. I think everybody on here has either been impacted by that or know somebody close that has been impacted by that in one way, shape, or form. Where are we at with that? I mean, where's this headed? Where's this going?
It seems that the trend, so I'll give a little bit about what I do before I launch into that. So Vegas was much more exciting to talk about, but I'm an employment lawyer. I do employment litigation and other types of commercial litigation in New York and Connecticut. And I have a team that does it across the mid-Atlantic, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware. I have done work for transportation companies, but all types of employers, usually on the management side. So non-competes, non-solicits are definitely a big part of what I do, whether it's litigating on either side, frankly, on behalf of an employee or on behalf of a company seeking to enforce an agreement. It happens all the time. It's actually exciting on the lawyer side because you get to litigate sometimes the same agreement in multiple venues. So someone's living in LA, but their agreement, asks for the venue to be in New York, and you're flip-flopping across the country depending upon the value of that agreement and whether folks will pay you. But in terms of the trends, I mean, certainly public policy is leaning towards lessening the scope of these agreements and the impact and enforcement, just because of the draconian nature often and the impact of these agreements on employees. Like if you look at the LTQ outcome, you got young people that are you got young people, oftentimes receiving training in an industry for the first time. And, they'll sign agreements on the way in that aren't necessarily after a couple of years when they're looking to hit the market and maximize their value, reciprocal or congruous. And it's often unfair and draconian. And it seems that courts are starting to really, be on the side of employees, to put it in plain language, and really push back against agreements. One of the worst problems, though, is that often they're not legally enforceable, but it certainly has a chilling effect. If you're a 22-year-old dude starting out, as a broker, you're not going to know that this is unenforceable and illegal. You're just going to look at this and say, I'm screwed. So, I think that, it's definitely trending towards a more pro-employee situation, but I don't necessarily think that that's that harmful to employers. I think it's the right way to go.
Yeah. I think, most 23 and 24-year-olds don't even have a lawyer and know where to start with that. I think it feels overwhelming. I think we got to nuance it because I don't think all non-competes are bad. I just think that it depends on the position and depends on the value of it. if you're somebody in the C-suite that founded the company and then it gets acquired, for example, and they want you to sit out for 2 years, that's fine, but there should be compensation tied to it. Sure. To me, that makes sense. But when it's a broad, like anybody who joins the company has to sign this
for
to
any
work
amount of
here,
time.
Right.
No matter what the job is. That's where I just feel like these companies are overreaching drastically. I mean, what are your thoughts out there, Robert, Mitch, whoever, about just non-competes in general and like this more nuanced idea? Like where do they make sense? Where do they not?
I think it makes sense from my perspective, it makes sense in different parts of the country a little bit more than others. You mentioned compensation to sit out, Trey. Different states obviously have different rules, different laws. There needs to be gift or compensation for some of these documents that are not given and they're still signed anyway, which forfeits some of the right. But at the end of the day, companies need to protect data. They need to protect, obviously, proprietary information, but there needs to be a compromise within our industry, right? So I think it's out of control. It's absolutely out of control. Unfortunately, companies are just going to find ways around this, right? In my perspective, they're going to change hourly salary to hourly positions. They're going to do things. I don't think it's going to fix the problem. I think it's just going to allow a lot of creative outputs to keep the scenario in a similar arena.
It almost feels like the tax situation in some ways. Like you hear the politicians, people saying, "Hey, tax the rich, tax the wealthy," but all they're going to do is just hire more lawyers that can figure out, or tax accountants to figure out how to get around the tax laws.
Here's a crazy idea: just fix the damn tax code, and so you don't have that problem.
But but they don't want to, man. Because they like the tax code, man. They're not going to do that. But it's kind of that way. It's like they're going to find a way around it somehow. But how can we make it maybe a little more equitable for that entry-level employee that really has no idea what they're signing, doesn't have a lawyer? I mean, in a real world, they'd all learn how to, read legal documents and how to find a lawyer, and they would make sure somebody reads it before they sign it, not be desperate. Right. I think that's part of the failure. But at the same time, what kid coming out of college can afford a lawyer to look over a document and give them advice before they sign?
Or even know where to go? I mean,
it's like, it's
you're
tough.
so desperate for a job. I mean, I even think about, like, I remember I got a job. I was like, oh my God, I got a job. My sister's like, what's your benefits? I'm like, I have no idea. I'm so excited to be
I show up Monday. I have an email address. It's great.
Pretty much. I was like, I don't know. And I was like, didn't even think about it. I don't know if I asked like how much money I was going to make. Like, I was just so excited to be employed.
But actually, Jim has a good philosophy on when you come into a company. Some things are legal issues, and certainly what Mitch was talking about was like consideration. So, the courts talk about what is the consideration. In other words, what is the employee getting in turn for signing this non-compete, right? And so oftentimes they're saying you're getting the benefit of a job, right? And courts are really kind of weighing against that, saying that's not enough. To Mitch's point, if you're selling your business, you're getting actual consideration, you're getting money. But one of the Quinnisms that I say about Jim, that he often gives advice to new employees coming in, is that there's a window where these are the times that you should talk about this. And you can assure your employer, look, we're going to go to this window. We're going to talk about it. Jim, you can talk about it. I won't steal your Quinnisms. Go ahead.
Yeah. So whether it's your non-compete or non-solicit, when you deal with people, it's like there is a window to talk about compensation. There's a window to talk about, terms of your employment. And you can't shrink away from that and try to be nice and accommodating and then come back, 6 months later and be like, hey, I want to talk about it now, right? If it's time to ask for a raise, you ask for the raise in that window, and then you got to shut up about it for a while. And it's the same thing with these non-solicits, and non-competes. People, there is a lot of it's not an equal. I mean, at executive level, maybe somebody comes across to run a company, then that's a little more equitable, right? They're both coming at it with some knowledge and with some leverage. But certainly with younger people, there's a window. Take advantage of the window, because once it shuts, you're just, nobody writes those things. You're either going to end up retiring someplace, dying, or moving on. There's only 3 outcomes to joining a company, right? And 2 of them.
In some ways, the most junior people have the most to lose. In some ways, the most junior people have the most to lose, but they feel like they have the least amount of bargaining power.
Right.
And so that's where you get into these companies playing upon that.
I think to your point, right, we do see some of these lawsuits, and you look at the details and you look at the dollar amounts, you're like, wow, that must be an executive. And no, it's a 23-year-old person. You're like, what? You're going after someone 6 months into the industry of an absolutely very, very aggressive tack. We struggle with this on our side. It's not even a struggle, but it's a debate that we talk about all the time. And that is, we want to be transparent on our data. We want to be transparent in our technology to our employees and access to be able to thrive and have full scope of information. But at what point do we shield and shelter that, or do we just rely on those legal documents on the upfront to protect us, right? And I think at the end of the day, cities like Chicago, and it's a little bit changed in the last 5 or 10 years, but back in the day when I was growing up, there was a freight broker on every corner, right? And they would pack up their pots and just walk across the street to the next corner, and that's really what incubated this whole thing, right? And at the end of the day, it was really to protect the employees going across the street. And back and forth into a very, very small, geographic zone with very similar information, same customers, same carriers, same whatever that may be to really take an advantage. So has it gotten out of control? Absolutely, right? And then you look at the other state individually, is this a right to work state? Even that has different implications tied to these documents. So there's a lot of confusion to your point. Jim, I think you make a great point. We need to educate the industry. We need to educate the young folks coming into the industry what their rights are and how to be advocates to their own career.
But also to employers that think that they're protecting things by making these broad agreements. You're jeopardizing the enforceability of your entire agreement depending upon the jurisdiction you're in. And so overreach has its problems. And so if you're going to overreach, for example, you risk losing your proprietary information and that carve out. You risk losing all of these things. And so certainly the trend towards protecting technology with courts is there. I mean, the cyber boom, all of this has made courts I mean, en masse, state to state, more likely to protect a company's information. But at the same token, they're less likely to protect an employee from moving on, to stop an employee from moving on. So you're better. And what I say to clients is identify me your top goals. Don't just say I want it all. Tell me what order your top goals are so I can craft an agreement that's bespoke, specific to your goals. It's important.
Yeah.
From our standpoint in Canada, it's a little bit different than the United States, obviously. We have not had a non-compete upheld, not one in the province of Ontario or one across Canada. Non-solicit's different story. And to Doug's point, the longer you make the non-compete, the more geographic area you include, the harder it is to enforce. To Mitch's point, I agree, like Mitch, Jim, everybody else, it should be done early, and protecting proprietary right is completely different than a non-compete.
Right. I agree.
If they can't get to your software, they can't take financial information.
Correct.
Then at that point, what are you really protecting by enforcing a non-compete in a lot of the states they do? The other thing that there is, of course, which Dove can confirm as well, if you really have somebody that's, if they're in a fiduciary position, that's the non-solicit, because they have access to all the P&Ls and everything else. Right. However, a non-compete, if you do want to make it held in Canada or anywhere else, if you pay the employee for the time period that you are, let's say a year, you want protection. If you pay them for a year, then in addition to that, you have a cool-off period for another year. So that will get you your 2-year non-compete, but you're paying for it.
Right. Yeah, you're giving compensation. I think the people would be willing to do that. I mean, to me, that actually sounds reasonable, because now I can know that I'm being compensated. I can work on something else, maybe. Whatever it is, to me, it just makes a lot more sense than the way that we do it at times. But I'm also an optimist too. Sometimes I want to ask this question. To your point, Mitch, why are people packing up their stuff and walking across to another brokerage? Why are they not happy?
Oh, simple, easy influence. Younger generation, their buddies are going, right. It's there's no real good scientific reason. A comp plan got changed twice in 6 months and poked the bear, and really there's a lot of influence in freight brokers of friends groups and groups that we see, right? So
yeah. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to challenge that a little bit. So yes, absolutely, there's friend influence, because you do see people go in groups, right? What I've observed over the last 10 years or so, especially in brokerages outside the top 10, is, and Dove, you hit on this a little bit with having a bespoke, document. Everything's about speed. Everything's about have to go fast. No one thinks to slow down, to speed up. And that comes with training people, getting them up to speed to actually do their job. So, Jim, as you said, like having these people understand what is your signing, what is you're going to be doing, and presenting more challenges to them. Because what young people have observed, and especially now I'm observing this with my oldest, he's 20 years old, he's going to get in the job market soon. And the thing he is most scared of, he's like, how do I know I'm getting the skills now that I'll need when I'm your age, Dad? I'm like, you won't. You're not going to get them right now.
Right.
You're going to do what I did along the way. And so kids have watched that, and you see so many organizations that don't put in the time to do that. All they say is, "Hey, get in, start bringing in money, and by the way, if you try to leave, we're gonna screw you." So I'm out. I don't want to deal with this. They're looking for those opportunities to grow, and let's be real. How many of these kids are 20, 22, 25, and they're still living with their parents? I got 2 adult kids in my house. Like this is what they're trying to avoid, and it's going to happen when they get these challenges. So now are their friends saying, "Hey, dude, we're going to get it all over here"? Yeah. And they get there and they realize, no, we're not going to. It's the same bullshit.
Right.
Yeah. One thing with the non-compete is when you go out there and you solicit prospects and you bring them into that brokerage, why can't you leave with them? What are you competing against? They didn't have them in the first place.
Because they're the brokerage's property, not yours.
Well, I brought them in. So it's
you're a salaried employee, then, in a way, your work belongs to your employer, right? If you're an agent, if I'm paying you salary, I'm just saying it from an employer's perspective. If I'm paying you as a W-2 employee, then I do feel that those customers that you work and bring do belong to the house, right? And I think the carrier piece is I'd have a hard time swallowing that somebody has proprietary rights to, co-opt carriers exclusively for a brokerage. I've never really tried to pursue that. I'm not sure that could ever be. Beth could probably weigh in on that. I don't think who your vendors are and trying to prevent people from engaging your vendors is ever going to be enforceable. I mean,
Jim, I agree 1,000% on that. The company's taking the risk, they're taking the liability. They're taking the AR. They're taking the, you know, to your point, is it an agent model or is it a W-2 model, 1099 or not? And
yeah, they're not taking the debts with them when they go.
Right.
Like how much, you know,
Right.
all that collection stuff, all the.
Listen, guys, we hire, like we interview folks all the time on my side and specific operationally people, not even on the sales side, and they're saying I can bring you this, I can bring you this, I can bring you this, and I always wonder, like, we're you know, and how are you even able to do that, and how realistic is that, and what's the liability on our side for that? It rings through every single time I hear that.
So I agree with you, Jim. That the business is the companies, the organizations. My relationships are mine, though.
100%.
And I don't know how you legally separate those. I don't know. Doug, that may be a question for you, but
yeah, that's my point.
Yeah, I mean, on your way in, that's how you legally separate them. So you want to think about the things to do on the way in and the things to do on the way out. So on the way into a company, you want to carve out in any employment agreement that says, these are my existing relationships. These are the extent of them. And, you know, I expect to take these with me when I go. But again, you have to do that in the right window because otherwise you can't expect it at the other end.
Yep. Again, I think a lot of employees just don't even have the first idea to think that way or to talk that way.
But also, if you're a young kid, you don't have those yet.
Well,
like you're walking into the job.
Well, if you're 24, 25, and you got 2 years of experience, you might have some. But I just don't think that.
Who's really giving these kids advice on how to actually like navigate their career? I mean,
Not
we're
the public school system.
Get a job, do all this bullshit. Where like what these kids have to understand is your career is yours to own, and so you have to decide like, is this place for me? I can go work for Mitch, and Mitch is awesome. He's a great leader, and Mitch moves on. I want to follow Mitch, so I'm going to follow him. But then I may get introduced to Bill, and Bill gives me an awesome opportunity. And I'm like, Mitch, I love you, man, but I got to roll. Like, I need to do this for my family. There's not a whole lot of that being taught to kids. That just like when you get terminated, it's not personal; it's just business. It's the same thing.
Yeah, you know, even when you bring like a significant book of business, you're talking like $10 million worth of business into a company, right? To Dove's point, you know, you got to get that in writing saying, I'm bringing this into you for the time being. But when I leave, I'm going to take that because I spent 20 years building that book of business and all of my connections have gone with me no matter where I've gone. I'm bringing this to you for the.
But Jeff, isn't that customer going with you anyway? Because that's what the relationship is. Or is the customer sticking around because they get used to the service of the business that they're housed in? They get used to the operational context. They get used to the day-to-day, and now they're comfortable. So the relationship really determines, does the customer follow you out or do they stick around, right?
But the other thing too, Mitch, is that, you know, you have to iron this out in the beginning because you're bringing that in, and then what's going to happen is they're going to say, well, we gave you the tools to manage all of these customers. We did this. We did. Well, wait a second. I brought in $10 million worth of business to manage. You're making margins off of this. You're making something off of that. You know, I mean, they're going to try to say, no,
but do you expect the customer to stop doing business with the current house and keep going, or also keep going but stick around?
But they may stop you from doing that in some kind of an agreement saying,
I have a question because Jeff, I agree with you and Dove, but you established up front, it's great. But to Jim and Mitch's point, the company obviously has paid you to bring on business. Respectfully, you should not go out to your next company and immediately attack your old company. That, you know, is what develops your reputation, your morals, your scruples.
Sure.
100%.
However, by the same token, I don't think Mitch or Jim will dispute that if that individual, being the company itself, decides to leave the company you brought it to find you on LinkedIn or something else of that nature, then approaches you in that manner. You did not engage them, but they engaged and followed you because of relationship and or the new company provides a benefit, then the courts at that point are not likely going to rule for Jim or yourself to be able to keep that person from doing that, because now all you're doing is trying to stop them from earning a living when the customer chose to go with them versus yourself. So
Dove, how does that work? Dove, how does that work out in practice? I think Bill raises a good point. Everybody knows everybody, and you don't take an active role in pursuing a former customer or a customer that's with your former employer, but they nevertheless, the customer wants to do business with you at your new place. How does that play out in litigation?
Well, the devil's in the details, of course. So in the non-solicit realm, which is what we're talking about here, just
Right, we're talking
someone
about
says non-solicit versus non-compete. Obviously, we're in the world of non-solicit. For those following along at home, non-solicit world, when you enter into these agreements, you can put into the contract whether you have the right to take affirmative steps upon your exit to contact your the other business partners, right? The folks that are paying you. Now, of course, there's going to be a non-disparagement to Bill's point that you're probably likely contractually not able to disparage your former employer, but you may be able to take affirmative steps to reach out to them. If there's none of that discussion, usually it's the customer gets to decide. You know, if it's ambiguous, the courts are going to say if the customer approaches the former employer executive, that the customer can choose.
Yeah. And this is a timely conversation because it's the end of the year. A lot of times people make moves this time of year, whether it's leaving a company or a new company in January.
Putting it on their vision board.
Yeah. One thing we haven't really discussed is if you shouldn't have to worry about whether your people are going to leave if you create a culture that they don't want to leave.
That's the optimist in me.
Right.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like you create that. You don't have to worry about a new guy coming in because you have an excellent training program, which I might know a place that has one. If anybody's looking,
hang on, but Scott, Robert,
who may that be?
but like
Robert, train them right in the beginning.
Train them to be successful. Give them the culture, the environment that they will want to strive and be successful in. Partner them with, or at least let them spend time with the people who are already successful in your company, in this industry, so they have a place to look and say, I want to be just like that person. I'm going to do everything that Scott or my trainer says because he's already created this much success with this many people. And we have an awesome culture. We give away sweet 65-inch, 75-inch TVs during Christmas parties. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, I think that I've seen a lot of this in the chat with the audience. That is, I think people throw the terms around, right? Non-solicit, non-compete. And I think the folks here understand intuitively what the difference is. But to non-solicitation to me is a backbone of protecting it, right? As an employer, I view if it doesn't work for you, you don't touch my data, you don't touch my employees, and you don't touch my customers, then go with God, right? And maybe there's a lesson I can have as an employer that I could have done something different, or maybe they did me a favor by leaving. But the way I look at it with employees departing is either you didn't give them their due and they're leaving for a reason, in which case that's a lesson for you, or some other employer values them more than you do, and you're confident that they're not worth that, and therefore why should you care if they leave if they're not taking their customers? I don't know if that makes sense.
Sometimes, I think
getting back to what Scott said initially, their last one, Trey and Robert brought it up originally, Scott, which is why they wanted to leave anyways, right?
Yeah.
So we go back to Richard Branson. He's got one of the best quotes of ever. Train the people so they can leave, and then treat them properly so they won't leave.
That's right. That's right.
Put the value in those individuals, and then at that point, you're likely going to have the culture that will be a winning culture that they will go out and find winners for you.
Yeah. So much.
Be louder for the people in the back.
Yeah.
If you have your own island, I expect powerful quotes like that, right? And that was a pretty good one. I mean, the bar's high up there, but it's very true and 100% spot on.
Yeah.
I could have tried to take credit for it, Mitch, but unfortunately, I'm just not that smart. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The moral of the story.
Business.
Yeah. Moral of the story: if you're into a new company or trying to leave one, make sure that these documents are in place. You're thinking through that. Don't make desperate decisions, even when you're desperate. Mm-hmm. That's emotional intelligence. Don't make desperate decisions, even if you feel desperate. Don't do it. So important.
Read the things you sign your name to.
Yeah, they're just basic stuff. Yeah. Okay. Well, so we gotta move on to the next segment. But before we do that, we're so excited to have Dove and Jim and Bill on the show today. So, quick question: do you guys want a word on the street water bottle, a word on the street mug? Which one do you guys prefer? We'll send it to you. We're thankful you're on the show. Which one do you want?
Oh, the water bottle.
Water bottle for Jim. Dove, what do you want?
Mug.
Beautiful. And Bill, what do you want?
I'll go water bottle.
Water bottle, beautiful. We'll get those out to you. We really appreciate you guys being on the show today, which is awesome. It is time for the segment. What's the word today? Sponsored by our friends over at Isometric Technologies. Listen, this is the ultimate freight broker's secret weapon. With ISO, you'll have access to industry-wide performance benchmarks, dynamic scorecards, and powerful analytics to gain insights into your strengths, address your weaknesses, and differentiate your carrier network from the competition. Check them out today at ISO.io on the Freight Tech Top 25. Great people over there. You know John Stauffer and Brian Crystal. Good. Who's here? Wait, who is here? Oh my goodness!
What up?
Everybody.
What's going on, everybody? What is up? What is up? What is up?
Good to see you, my friend.
Sabotage.
So just so you know, Jim, Bill, and Dove, the show might get totally out of control at this point because Kyle is here. So
What's up, Kyle?
I was coming in. I was coming in like the Crips and the Blood to say, Trey, I stand with you. The NFL, the College Football Playoff Committee, they're screwing all the big, like the people who should win, the good guys are getting screwed. I was with you, Trey, and that's how you treat me right off the bat.
This is actually a bonding moment for us because we both feel like our teams are not getting their due right now. Florida State.
Yeah, I agree. But Carl's here, so things are going to be off the rails. I don't get how that's possible.
Throwing flags at bad times in the game. I mean, we're crying about it. It's just terrible. So it's a hard time. It's a hard time, that's for sure.
I agree.
But thanks for joining us from Boston, lovely Boston, Massachusetts. Appreciate it.
Ain't lovely. It's cold as hell. Hey, Beefcake, you're looking sexy as ever. Don't worry about you losing. I still think you're the strongest man in logistics, regardless of what Scott says.
I've never disagreed with that.
Scott was texting me in the DMs. You should read my DMs.
We got a couple of stories to talk about today. So I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but on last week tonight on John Oliver's show, he actually referenced freight waves in a story about freight trains. So our industry, some of our media, our industry are getting some play on big time media out there. The story about how this is really interesting. So in freight trains, I didn't know this. Freight trains, they don't have to document what is actually in each car. So when there's an accident, that's why reporters and people are like, we don't know what was in that car because it doesn't have to be tracked. Like if you put something on a plane, for example, every item has to be tracked of exactly what it is, tracking purposes. It's all out there. But on trains, it doesn't have to be that way. It's really fascinating. So when you have this, people don't even know what's in those things. How crazy is that? The unions
don't stop. They just keep going. It's hard to jump in there and see what's going on.
Yeah, with deregulation,
showing people to jump in, see what's going on.
I guess conceivably the train could stop and investigate. It's a little more difficult.
It's impossible. It takes a mile for a train to stop. At that point, you're ruining the coal. You got to keep it going.
Hey, do you know something? If you go on a plane, a passenger plane, and there's cargo on it, do you know as a passenger you have the right to review what is on that plane in the belly?
Oh, I hope nobody ever does that. That's going to keep us on the tarmac for another hour. Like
That's a Jeff pro tip.
My ladder would not allow that.
Did everyone catch Scott's power stance when he's on the phone? Hand up on the wall. So much shaft right there.
Kyle, I'm not convinced he's even on the phone.
My protein.
Show us your.
It is my daughter.
Okay.
My daughter. She's more important than everybody on this page. Okay, my daughter.
I pick it up and I put it down.
Very good, very good. No, but I thought that was interesting. The trains don't have to have registration of everything that's on the train. So pretty fascinating. But shout out to Freightways for getting a little bit of play on the John Oliver show last week. You're skittish. You're like jumpy over here. Are you guys seeing this? We were at the game last night. You were at the Blue.
I showed up. I make Jen smile.
Calm down, Jen. Calm down.
I'm here. Jen smiling.
We were at
Sorry,
the Blue
Jeff.
game
It's
last
me,
night.
brother.
Every time the foghorn went off at the Blues game, just jumping out of her seat, like, oh my gosh! I mean,
I'm just easily startled.
Yeah,
It's not my fault.
clearly. So we have to have different insights or introductions, things like that.
It's just
also,
louder in studio.
It is. Also, did you see that this company? This is so funny. So not funny, but ironic. This company, transportation company called Relax Transportation. Relax Transportation had a full truckload driver get stuck on a mountain with switchbacks at 10% grade. Literally went around a corner and the back tires of the trailer almost fell off. I don't know if we have a picture of that or not. Do we have a picture of that? I wish we did. If we don't, we'll get one to you. But
That's a lot of gas right there.
Well. Yeah. And a tow truck had to come up and get it. And I'm thinking to myself, how is this tow truck going to do this? It's just making the whole thing longer. Like they're going to have to get a helicopter.
The truck had to back up the entire road.
It's crazy.
There wasn't room for it to turn around.
No. This, like when you see the picture, Jim, it's unbelievable. Yeah. It's like, imagine if you went hiking on a trail with switchbacks and how tight those turns are on hiking. Put that in a road format and try to get an 18-wheeler to drive up it. Like it's crazy. There were signs that said, "Don't go up this road." Of course, they it went ahead, but created quite the image. But the fact that the truck company's name is Relax, a little too much. Relax,
Yeah, a little relaxed.
I'm a professional.
A little too much about that, which is crazy. Also, a couple of things that have been going on. I don't know if you guys saw this, the Taylor Swift effect we're talking about with the Chiefs. She was at the game again last week.
Also,
they lost
anytime
again.
we got into Trey's car to go anywhere on this event, Taylor Swift was playing.
True story. True story. I'm
surprised.
He's 100% a Swiftie, and we
He's
had
pissed about his Spotify rap. He wasn't in the top 0.0% like Jeff is, so he had to really go hard.
There you
Everyone
go.
knows what he's doing.
I mean, I'm kind of all in at this point. My daughters have
Full
I mean,
Swiftie.
I know the names of albums. This is not good. This is not good.
That's not
Greg,
good. That's not good.
1979.
Evermore.
Taylor Swift. They're not that hard. Error. Just say something error.
Ed.
Seems to me you're a Swiftie there.
Lover.
Bad reputation.
Jim, you know these, right?
Yeah.
You know the albums for Taylor Swift, right?
Any think they're a
When do the new ones drop? Like Bitter and Overrated, and I should know when do those ones drop?
Overrated.
Jim, what were you saying? Speak up, Jim. What were you saying?
TC 2020.
NFL players believe they're celebrities, but Taylor Swift proves to them that there is a different level of celebrity.
Oh yeah, it's not even
You know, like the NFL is like a pimple, you know, compared to the
I think Travis Kelce got a bigger bump.
So Jim, are you trying to tell me Travis Kelce didn't put her on the map?
Hey, look,
They're on
Mom,
some kind of map.
I'm hooked with the billionaire.
She works hard. She could make something of herself.
She might make
Exactly. I had no clue who she was until I saw Travis Kelce started dating her.
Yeah, I didn't know about Swiftie either until Kyle told me.
I was like 100% Kyle's been educating you for
That's
weeks.
right. That's right. That's why Kyle.
I will
Bullying.
point out I have 3 sons from 25 to 35, so yeah, I know nothing about this girl at all for the most part.
Yeah, sure, Bill. Come
Yeah, 25. I'm sure.
Bill, let me ask you a question. Do you enjoy brunch? Because if so, you definitely know Taylor Swift.
I do enjoy brunch, but you know what?
You know you're a Swiftie. You just became a Swiftie, my friend.
Why don't we talk about
Bill
brunch?
is a Swiftie.
Canadian brunch is
Talk
very
about it
different.
all the time.
What do you mean?
Wait. I heard Canadian brunch. Is that
Canadian brunch is very different than U.S.
Okay,
brunch.
what is Canadian? I don't
More maple syrup.
It
More
comes
maple
with
syrup,
Swift.
more bears.
Timmy Hortons is involved at some point.
Let's let the Canadian. Let's let
And
the
we have real female bacon.
Is it poutine? Yeah.
We have poutine in there. We have they have an all-you-can-eat here.
How do you guys
of course,
order
eBay
bacon?
is it's like $80 a person.
How do you guys have all you can eat? Canadians aren't that fat. How is that possible? What?
Because it's not processed, all you can eat.
They don't see it as a personal challenge.
They got to run away from moose.
It's 20 below. Your metabolism works a little fast.
Yeah, we do work a little
I
harder.
eat a peanut and gain 20 pounds.
Bill, is it true that instead of mimosas, you guys just drink Pabst Blue Ribbon at brunch?
Well,
They call it blue.
in this case, yes, they do have beer at the brunches. They have oysters with Smirnoff and or Grey Goose in them.
Just
Nice.
like
I
Tails and all this crap and shit and everything else in it.
brunch.
And of course, I walk in, get sausage, eggs, pancakes.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's an American breakfast right there. Love
Yeah.
that. Loved it. Love to hear that. Also, we noticed they got some news that some of Yellow's terminals are finally getting sold
You know what
off.
I'm
Yeah,
Yeah.
We're
a
done with
lot of
brunch.
them.
Done with brunch. Quite a few of them. 128 out of 169 are currently sold.
Right.
I think it's
And I forget who else chipped in.
yeah. Let's see, XPO was part of that. A couple of
Was Estes in that too? I think.
Estes.
I think Estes was a part of that as well. Yeah, that's right. Yep. So we'll see what they do with them. Maybe retrofit them, upgrade them a little bit with some better equipment, things like that. We'll see.
And it was also, so you guys mentioned the LTL carriers, but the truckload folks scooped up a bunch of those too. Nike Swift grabbed, I think, 5 or 6.
3 of them, yeah.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah,
Nice.
that's true.
Yeah, maybe three, but yeah, a handful for sure.
Yeah, very interesting. Unions are making a little bit of a comeback. More than 1,100 unionized DHL Express workers walked off the job in Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, at the international airport there. Interesting to see that happen. It's almost like there's kind of just a wrestle between if unions are going to survive or not. We're seeing a little bit of activity of them of doing some things. Then I don't know. It seems like some of the newer companies are going non-union. Obviously, we hear a lot about that from Tesla and Elon Musk and what he's doing. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen with unions. Where does this head? Do we think this is going to grow and people are going to want unions, or is it going to move the other direction? Or is it going to kind of be a stalemate for a while? What do we think?
Your co-host is not paying attention to you at all. Jen is in a different area right now. You're like talking to her, and she's like, "Hello, darkness, my old friend." Like she's out there.
I just gave you like a biscuit over there earlier. Like, why are we talking about food? We just like, you hungry?
I just really love brunch.
Jeez. Well, okay, maybe we should talk about brunch.
Talking about brunch.
What else?
There was no mimosa.
Like, why did we move on from this whole brunch conversation? I thought that was really good content we had going down. Why did we move so fast?
We did. Yeah.
Yeah, because he didn't care about it. He just moved right on.
For the New Year's episode, can we
Never trust the skinny man to talk about brunch. Skinny men don't talk about
I think, Trey, to your point, or it's a big topic, right? It's a big topic, but I can tell you, we've seen a lot of disruption from that. We saw yellow, but the impact to the port strikes and everything else is tied into that. I mean, unions are very, very deep. They're tied into specific customers on the grocery supply chain, only allowing union trucking providers. There's a big avenue for this, and obviously, it's the bottom line is protection of the employee, the safety of the employee, and the safety of the employee's family. Right? There's a shortage of dock workers. There's a shortage of forklift drivers. There's a shortage of mechanics in the industry. Right? Diesel 1, Diesel 2, Diesel 3. If those unions are there to protect those jobs and the safety, they should be there as a thing. Unfortunately, there's just been a out of control spur of this that's created chaos. That's the bottom line. The chaos comes with some of the union aspect in this. In my opinion.
I think a lot of people in those areas too just want the chaos. They want the news, the publicity. They want people to be talking about it. So very interesting.
It's leverage. It's leverage. As we've moved into this attention economy we live in now, everything that Mitch just talked about is exactly why unions were put into place. That's not what they're there for anymore. They're leverage for a few people to essentially get what they want, while those that are in the union that need the most benefit do not receive that.
Yeah.
Good point. All right, listen,
we got a failure of management if a union takes hold in your organization. And I'm not talking about, to Mitch's point, the grandfathered industries where they're just probably going to be there till none of us are walking the earth, right? Like the stevedores are going nowhere. Okay. But if you're running a shop and the union makes that kind of infiltration, it's to me, it's a sign of a failure of some kind on management's part.
100%.
Yep.
100%.
Yep. Well, it's been a stimulating conversation, but we have a new game this week, Jeff, just for you. All right. So this game is called Where's Trey? And our producers are excited about this game. They found him right here. I don't know what the problem is, but we're going to see what this game is all about. Again, it's a segment called Where's Trey? Here's what's going to happen. Our producers are going to put up PDF of graphics, and you got to spot where I am. I don't know why we're doing this. All right, let's go. Here we go. So,
bottom right.
Oh, Kyle got
a great meeting.
See that? Oh, bottom right. Very good. Okay. All right. So Kyle gets the first point. Are we keeping score today? I don't know. We'll see. Well, Kyle's got the first point.
Do we ever?
All right. What's the next?
World.
Yeah, right there. That was pretty small.
This is a mean game for people with that.
Okay. Oh, look at this picture.
I see. I'm just trying to figure out what are we?
I'm elf on a shelf with my face on. That's what it is.
Trey on a tree.
Oh man, where are we?
I see you on the tree on the right.
Oh, Trey, we put you on a container.
Nice work, Dove. Nice work, Dove. So 1-1. So Dove's got a point.
No.
Oh, come on now.
I said Trey on the tree. I didn't know. I was just trying to do a play on.
How many fingers does that AI generate? Oh, there's only 4. Okay.
Oh my God.
Trey, he's hugging the cocktail. Weird.
I thought he was on the tree
man.
over here. On
I
the
thought
right.
you didn't drink.
Man, I need to hold on. I need to turn my and put on my bigger screen.
Right there.
This is way too close.
It's on the screen. Oh, he's on the screen.
Wait, are you over there? Are you in the corner?
Kyle wins.
I don't see him.
How much time do your employees have, Trey?
Way
I
too
think
much.
we need to start talking about them like getting to
Right
work.
there, bottom
Way
right.
too much damn time.
Got him.
Bottom right on the hanging on.
Are you, oh, you're right there.
Oh,
Yeah,
Scott.
you're right.
I got him.
All right. So Scott's got a point.
Yes.
Scott's got a point. Kyle's got a point. All right. Here we go. Moving on. Next one. This is an odd game. All right.
Because
moving
it's
on.
your face.
I don't know. All right. Okay.
Oh, there's your daughter, right?
I thought that was your daughter too.
No. Oh, it's.
Oh, is that you? No.
Top
right
left.
there. Right there.
Yeah,
Right
okay.
there.
I was
Right
Yeah.
there.
Where?
Right there.
Top
Where?
right. Middle
Right
top
there.
right. Hanging
Middle
on a
top right.
rope.
hanging
Or
on.
something?
By your
Yeah.
daughter.
Right above us.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're right about snowman.
We got that point. Jennifer got that point.
Yeah.
Jennifer's got a. All right, next one. What do we
Can we
have?
play Where's Waldo?
Yeah,
really.
essentially, but it's where's Trey?
Jenner on that one ornament off to the right there.
No, that's essentially what it is. Let's see here. Do you got it?
It's hard to find Trey.
Yeah.
You got to wait till he clears.
Waldo at least has a big striped sweater on.
Exactly. This is a tough one. Where
I got him. Got him.
What?
Scan
He's underneath the table on the right-hand side.
Under the table, right hand side. Nice.
That's-
Bill,
There he is.
All right.
There he is. Yes.
Not, but then I
Yay. Cowboy.
Audacious one. Excellent.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. This
Got
is
him.
Got him. He's
Got
right
him.
middle.
Got him.
Yeah.
Got
Easy
him.
one.
Got him.
He's the dog.
Yeah.
Size
To
bottle.
the right. To the right.
He's right
is,
up to the-
On the, he's
Oh.
sitting on
Behind
top
the
of the
fencing
on
on the
one of
right.
the cars.
out of control, everybody. Oh my
Got
gosh. How many more of these do we
There
have?
he is. Come on, I get two.
Yeah. I mean, I saw him first, but I'll give it to you, Jeff.
All right, Jeff, you got
Oh,
two.
yes,
All right.
come
That's
on.
good.
Stream got him, and then
Listen,
slowly way to it.
Jeff's never won a game before, so this
He's
could
really
be,
good.
this could be
That's
the one.
true.
This could be
Got
the one.
him.
I
What?
have a person in the back.
Got him. In the middle of the screen, back third.
Second tree to the left.
front.
On the bottom, sitting
there.
on his post. Yeah.
Jeez. Jeff. I think we wrapped this one up already. I
Jeff
think-
put on new glasses. He took off his sunglasses. He had put on green
Yeah.
glasses.
I just noticed that. Off his blue blockers.
Yeah.
No, I think we should be done with this game.
Got
All
him. Got him.
right.
Middle window. Up. Straight ahead, right?
Yeah. That's him.
Dude, this is
Wow.
unbelievable.
Woo!
Jeff is
Come
on
on now.
fire. Okay, let's do one more just to see if he gets it again.
Let's see if he gets it.
Let's just do it. He's gonna yell it out. Got him. Oh man.
Well, this one's
This
a
is,
hard
this is gonna be a hard one.
Oh geez.
My eyeballs do not like.
I know. I'm gonna have to take a
How the
nap.
hell do you find with all this red, man? That,
Now, this is where I think AI's gone too far.
No, I mean it's just one thing. It's just this is not good.
This is too much.
My face. I'm just looking for my face somewhere. I can't find it anywhere.
It's a shape. You got to look for like what Jeff's looking for. It's just like that red thing.
Jeff, come on, get it. Let's go.
He's gonna have to get a new
It's
pair of
funny
glasses.
when you
Womp, 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 womp.
look at all those screenshots of all of us. This is the closest we've ever been.
there you go.
Yeah, we didn't get
Nice,
that.
Natalia. Nice.
All right. So congratulations, Jeff. You win today on Where's
That's
Trey.
great.
Well done, my friend. Well done. I am.
Get standing ovation.
I am rather impressed. That was pretty impressive. Well done. So, Jeff, you can't say we don't make games with you in mind anymore. I mean, you're
Yeah, right.
That's true. It's the first and last game that I'll ever win. So
all right, we're gonna do what we always do to end the show. We'll do it really quick today. We got about 90 seconds. This week in pictures. This is how we end the show, Dove and Jim and Bill. Every week we like to talk about what we did that week. So let's go ahead and through these real quick. Who's first up today? Today up we got Dove pictures. Tell us what this is all about.
Sure. I heard you have 4 trees. We have 3. We have 3 real trees. You have 4 fake trees. So I don't know. I don't know.
what's up with that?
This is us getting our trees, and these are me and my neighbors and my cousin on the right, and our kids getting
that's so
into
cute.
decorating.
That's so much fun. That is so cute. I love that. That's awesome, Dove. Yeah, I think your real trees definitely trump my fake trees. I'm not gonna lie.
I have 2 real, 2 fake.
Yeah.
Jim fights with me though. He doesn't think we should have 3 trees. So
All right, Scott.
Oh, what? So yeah, where are we? Oh man. So the battle
How
act.
much alcohol?
Look at 90
Well, there's
seconds.
too much. Well, because I wasn't allowed to participate in the ladies edition, right? So last year, far left was last week. I went to Charlotte, and because I was there, we hired a new training specialist for their in-house training, and then I happened to crash their Christmas party. So as a people operations group, we did some battle action. That was my one and only bullseye. So I was just say, hey, take a picture. So it looks like I'm cool. ATG photo with the wifey. And then the 2 middle ones are last night's with our VP of HR and our HR manager here. And then that's the branch manager here, Zach. We've been working together for 10 years now in the Armstrong brokerage. And then that was just me. I literally walked through the middle of the street, walking to the office to get the Charlotte skyline while I was there. And I just
Nice. Almost like a little Beatles picture as well. Okay, so I have to ask, how many of you have crashed Christmas parties? Because
I didn't see that. I forgot she put it in there. Those Funko Pops, I made I freight Sensei Funko Pop.
Oh yeah, there you
That's
go.
very
Nice,
cool.
nice. So how many of you have crashed a Christmas party before? I have to know. We have 2 on the show that have done it.
I mean,
Anyone else?
if you would have just invited me, I wouldn't have had to crash.
All right. Who is next? Who we got next here? Who we got next? Move the screen. Move it forward. All right, Robert, what do you got?
So this is from I meet a couple weeks ago on the left.
Video. Look at it on the left.
This is 1063 squat, probably the sloppiest squat I've ever done in my competition career. But this was the 88th largest squat all time, all weight classes.
That is insane.
Yeah.
All right. You're still the
for a second. I was pretty excited.
Still the strongest man in logistics. You got it. Look
Oh,
at
yeah,
that.
he's
Look at
excited.
that.
I'm sick.
Scott, I told you he's still the strongest man, regardless of what you
You
keep
got the whole
DMing
Viking
me.
thing down, man.
I do.
Who
Then
doesn't want to win with
pizza
that
in the
guy?
Open Nugget, that's the New Haven pizza. And then down, I actually made a post about this on LinkedIn. So I had this thing whenever I finish a meet, I always call for the last lifter. Last lift of the day. Get out your phones, get out your seats, blow the roof off this place. And just so happens it is
Kids,
one of
hide your wives.
yeah. Well, none of that mess. No, sir. We don't mess with that. But it was just really cool to be able to do that for a very dear friend at that meet. And even though it wasn't the result I wanted, he ended up placing second overall.
Nice.
Incredible. Love it, man. Appreciate that. All right, who's next? What do we got next?
We'll call you back in 10 minutes, okay?
Roll it up. All right, Jennifer, here you go. Don't worry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, these are all photos of your team. I came here to be your personal photographer, obviously.
This is part of our holiday retreat right here. So
Hope you get paid for it.
We're doing
No.
so.
Worst job ever.
I'm paying to be here.
Oh.
We
How
did
many
a,
times did he let me look at that photo? Hold on, you gotta take a better one. I didn't look that good in that one. How many times? Like every time you took a
didn't
photo?
I just sent him right to
Yeah, I didn't have any control over that, Kyle, none whatsoever. But we did a fun activity stop, start, change, continue activity on all the things that we're doing at Beta. So that was really fun. We got some holiday ornaments, some team ornaments that Morgan got for us. And then we're at the Blues game, of course. Let's go to the next page. Got to run through these real quick. I know people are staying over late. We appreciate it. And this is me singing with my friend of my friends, my elves, my group of elves.
Where's this hat?
Ambassadors. I had to turn it back in. I know. But we had our concert.
Is that Moses?
No. We were shepherds for the second act. We were shepherds. So that's me with my family and my in-laws as well. And then we went to I got to chaperone a field trip on Wednesday. We went down to the Repertoire Theater and saw It's a Wonderful Life in radio version, which was really fascinating. Had a good time with that. Do you have any more pictures, or is that it? Oh, Beta Holiday Takeover. We had a lot of fun, everybody, having a good time. A little karaoke. Some more good things on the horizon.
There's stuff that we're not allowed to.
Nice.
There are some things that we're not allowed to play, but that is all for today, everybody. Jim, Dove, Bill, thanks so much for joining us. Hope you had a good time. Will you come back sometime and see us? Would you jump back into this ring again?
Absolutely.
Let's go. That's what we want to hear. Nobody else out there, have a wonderful Friday. We'll see you next Friday, pre-Christmas special right here on Word on the Street, powered by our friends over at Isometric Technologies. We'll see you guys on the flip-flop. Merry Christmas. See you guys.
Have a good weekend.